So, um, here's what happens to me every day. Um, I wake up, which is my word for I start having experiences every day. Now, I'm not sure when this started, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't forever ago. That it was a limited amount of time ago. And then I start to have a stream of experiences, and it stretches out, and always it's continuous. Like one moment is related to the next, and the next moment also is related to the ones before it. They're kind of related back and forth like this, but I have them in this sequence. And then I generally have an experience of falling asleep. Um, I don't always have that experience. Like if I've had, rather more than less to drink, I might have forget, or I assume it still happens. But anyway, I don't have the experience of falling asleep. But inevitably, I have the experience so far of waking up again. And then it starts, and I have this stream of experiences, and it's always from my location, from where I live, or if I travel. I seem to have traveled. Then it'll be from other places where I might maybe I don't live, but where I am currently. And generally, wherever I am, I seem to have experiences from that location, located in that location. And then I'll for just it's almost inevitable. I fall asleep again, and then I wake up again, and it starts, and I have this series of information. And I'm pretty sure it's my theory that other people also have that. Like all of Gary's ideas are in Mendham, you know, mitigated by whatever the amount is that he travels. So that's my experience, and I'm pretty sure I'm theorizing that that's other people's experiences. And, sometimes I experience reading a book about Einstein's theories of relativity, and maybe I experience reading some other corroborating evidence, and then I go, yeah, I pretty much think those are good, and I accept that guy's experiences. I haven't actually had that guy's experiences, but they're described to me and corroborated, and then I'm like, oh, okay. So that counts pretty much as good as if I had done the experiment, but I know that it's secondary or tertiary or whatever. Now, it turns out that there's a question just in the air of if this experience is like a DVD. Now, I've watched DVDs before, and so I know what that experience is like for me. And so I'm faced with the question of is there a difference between watching a DVD and just this experience I've described in general? And yeah, I have to say there's something missing from watching a DVD. I mean, I find that I can tell the difference between my experiences of life in general and watching a DVD. For example, the experience of deciding to watch a DVD. That never happens in the DVDs. I never seem to have, when I'm watching a DVD, I don't have seem to have that experience during the DVD that I had, for example, deciding to watch it. So I think there's something missing from the DVD idea. Now, I noticed that this guy in Mendham had said that the idea that the DVD was written ahead of time was incongruent with his experiences. And I find the idea that it is a DVD at all quite incongruent with my experiences. my experiences are that I make choices that change. But if there's some DVDs um, that I've watched more than once, and every time I watch them, I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same. They seem very similar to me. Now, my ability to notice every time I watch them, I notice different things. So, who's to say, right? Whether they're exactly the same. But my impression is they're exactly the same, and the difference uh, is what I notice. Um, and that's not how my life is. My life does not seem ever the same. It's rolling out different all the time. And though I do get in situations that seem to be a repeat of past situations, I find that the way I deal with it every time is different. And I find that, you know, I feel like I'm making choices. And when I'm watching DVDs, it never feels like I'm making the choice that decides what the next few minutes of the DVD are going to be. But in my life, what I watch is I have these intervals where I wake up and I'm assuming I fall asleep. Uh, yeah, I'm just making all these choices and that are not made when I start or stop a DV. So um, it's an interesting question, but it is divergent from my experiences of my life. And in an important way, because those that would deny, if you believe that you're not really making choices, but that the information you receive influences those choices, the information that those choices are ultimately futile um, definitely will impact uh, those choices that you make in that case. So, um, yeah, I just can't accept that those choices and those differences from my life in a DVD that are pretty evident. I just can't see them as not mattering. Um, and I don't really think it's good that anybody would see it that way, but you're entitled to believe whatever you want. Still, I think denying that you can make choices or make a difference is a pretty major lapse, probably of a moral nature.